thank you for braving the elements and being with us this afternoon. You're very brave. I hope you have a boat or a submarine to go back home in. Yeah? Yesterday there were a lot more people, which ultimately meant that we had a nice discussion, and there were many more questions than I imagined there will be today, because I think the auditorium was about half full. I mean, compared with today. So. One thing that I began with yesterday was to find out who you are. It's nice to know. This is not an acting class. I can't presume that all of you have any experience of acting or are even interested in acting as a speciality, as it were. Maybe you're coming from some other corner of the industry, or maybe you've got nothing to do with films and acting at all. It's just, what brings you here? Curiosity. And a fascination with cinema. Good. What do you do? Yeah. He's a spy from Jagran. Okay. And you? You're in social media marketing. Are you covering this as an event also? Are you here officially or like, okay. And you, sir? Fun Republic? Sound recordist. Official, or are you spying for some other organization? You're not from Anupam Kher, are you? Okay. What do you do, sir? Right to the back. Yeah.
VFX artist.
VFX. Okay. And why are you here for this session? Knowledge about acting. Well, I hope your objective is achieved. ठीक है भाई, बैठ जाओ. Anybody else? Anyone got something which would be surprising, some extraordinary? You write for films. Just start again. You're a writer.
I'm a writer for films and television, and I think I need to understand actors' perspective now, because till date I have not a very good experience with actors, especially on the.
They're strange animals, aren't they, actors? Yeah. Yeah.
Because they hardly read scripts, and on the shooting sets you have to explain them, and then they bring their own interpretation. They don't look the film in totality. They look at individuality. That's what is my motivation.
You work only with untrained actors, is it?
Not really, sir. I have worked with big actors as well, but I'm not taking the names first.
But who know nothing.
Pardon?
But who know nothing about what they should be doing.
Most
Wow, there you are. Well, that's the state of the world. That's the state of the industry. That we all. Yeah, maybe it's you. I don't know you personally, so I'm not making any comments about that. But yes, it's a very strange industry. It's a very disorganized industry compared to other parts of the globe that those involved in any aspect of cinema. I'm right on the edge, on the fringe of the filmmaking, of Bollywood, as it were. Training actors and then wishing them the best of luck, and out they go into this terrible world in Mumbai, and fighting, struggling to survive and get their breaks their opportunities, and I carry a lot of um, resentment about the fact that I know so many of them are, if treated well, can be very fine actors, which is unjust. But there you are. It's a monopoly that they have, and there's not much we can do about it. And it's not impossible that you come from nowhere, from outside the industry, as many have. There was a gentleman I was sitting with just now, but he's just disappeared, I noticed. Who was one of them? It's not impossible to be so good, so hardworking, and to impress people with your performances, both in terms of your own character as an actor, as well as in terms of your skills as someone who creates characters in films. You can impress people, and you can earn a good name and a reputation for yourself, and be successful nonetheless. Which, first of all, is only in the imagination. It doesn't exist when the production starts. Pre-production is a whole matter of preparing those sets, those costumes, to do the casting, to find the right people for the right roles who will actually be in the shoot, to find the right music from the right kind of composer, and so all the different aspects and departments that make up a film unit. It comes from nothing. It comes from an idea. It comes from a writer, maybe. A writer has an idea for a story. He goes to a producer and says, would you be interested in this? Or anyway he writes it, he has to, because he's a writer. So he writes the story and then takes it to a producer and tries to sell it, sell the idea that this can make a good film. So it's come from nowhere. It's come from nothing. It's come from an idea that was in someone's imagination. But then the whole business of producing that film is a matter of materializing, of making that dream, that imagination, be a reality, come true. Not really. I mean, we live in this paradoxical world where it's as real as it can be, these days especially, for film. The great advantage of film is that it can seem to be like real life. Actually, it isn't. So for the actor in role, it's you, but it's not you. Another paradox. It's you because you're the actor. You've been signed on. You're the one earning the money. Begin and end, and where does the work, the life of the character begin and end? And sometimes it's difficult to clearly define or draw those lines, and some actors get very confused and they get into a pathological state of not knowing who they really are. Some roles are so overpowering. Anyway, I don't want to, it doesn't need to be an issue. Some people can very happily switch off once the filming, the director says, cut, that's a wrap, for today. So they switch off, they get out of their costume, out of their makeup. So it's not a real world. And once the shooting is ended, it evaporates, it disappears. It's no longer there, except what is on film and what the editor then deals with and puts together in order to make up the definitive version of the film. the story. Right through the director, collaborating with all those different departments and putting the production together in terms of the sets, the locations, the costumes, the props, the lighting, the sound, the music, and so on and so forth. Please come closer. Also in actor training, that's the job. Imagination is always at the heart of our work, even in training. So many, we have to do so many exercises, so many different scenes from different plays. We create characters, we do character studies. Yeah, there are different levels of memorization. Obviously, the memorization of the script and all that you've rehearsed in role with the director, with the other actors. There are certain things which are important to remember. The technical aspects of remembering where you're supposed to be, in which location, on which spot, and that is also very specific at times, because the camera wants to be to have you in focus. And if you're not standing on the right place that we rehearsed, then you're out of focus, and the director says, cut! Next take, you have to do it again, until you do remember. So there are many levels of memory. And the broad, general question of, remembering all that you've experienced in your life, in a sense. Actors learn to be observing all the time. You realize more and more as your career goes on, it's a question of the observation of life, of people, their behavior, their habits, their gestures. You never know when and where and from whom you will pick up a big lesson in acting. From somebody who doesn't even know they're giving you a lesson in acting. It happened to me the other day just at the airport, where I met you also at the airport. Now, I wasn't observing you, but I was having a coffee, and when you're sitting in the airport, there's nothing else to do but observe the people around you. And there are so many, so varied. That's the miracle of life, isn't it? We all have 2 arms, 2 legs, we have a head, 2 eyes, a nose, a mouth, 2 ears, and yet we're all so different. It's a miracle. And life proves that. The great developers of things, the original manufacturers of things, the greatest scientists. Einstein failed in maths or science in school. You know, it's the unexpected people who go out and achieve after school and college, not those who've done well and come first, necessarily. Anything else? Thank you for your... You said something else as well. Observation. Observation. It has to become second nature. Also because while you're working, you're always observing your fellow actors. No, you can't. Identification is like central. If you don't believe in that character, if you're not connected with that character, if you don't identify yourself in that situation that the character is in and becoming that character, then nothing is going to happen. Is it?
आप लोग खुद आइडेंटिफाई कीजिए जब आप बच्चे थे और अभी में there is a big difference, right? Life takes over, there are other tensions, other things that pull you back. But who do you want to watch on screen? Somebody who's dull and who's full of tension and who's not unexpressive, or who's as free and liberated as a child is, right? So childhood बहुत your memories in childhood, the experiences that you have had in childhood, and then eventually school kind of suppresses that. मतलब हमारे जो traditional education रही है, it's all about you don't do this, you don't do that. It's all
Shut up, sit down.
shut up,
Do as
sit
you're
down
told.
routine. And sir, can you please pay attention, boss? If you want to talk, you can go outside. No? So that's very important कि आप revisit कीजिए अपना childhood, और जो आपकी उस टाइम पे एक एनर्जी लेवल था, जो उस टाइम पे आपका एक एक्सप्रेशन था जो नेचुरली आता था, बट देन ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम it gets suppressed. So there's a lot of time that we spend on retrieving that energy, on bringing back that child in you, for the lack of a better word.
The key word is play.
आपका प्रश्न ये था ना कि हम एक स्क्रिप्ट पढ़ रहे हैं, प्ले की स्क्रिप्ट पढ़ रहे हैं, तो एक कैरेक्टर में कैसे घुसें और उसको कैसे समझें, राइट? हाँ, तो वही सर बोल रहे हैं, इसका एक कोई सीधा सिंपल आंसर नहीं है. पहली बार आपको कोई भी स्क्रिप्ट मिलेगी, आप कोई भी प्ले उठाएंगे तो आपको उसके बारे में कुछ नहीं पता होगा. जो रिहर्सल का प्रोसेस है वो प्रोसेस ही यही है. रिहर्सल का प्रोसेस एक शो तैयार करना नहीं है. शो तो होता है एंड में जाके, ठीक है, क्योंकि आप उस प्रोसेस से गुजर चुके हैं, आपने उस प्रोसेस में सब कुछ खोज लिया है. तो अगर आप हर रिहर्सल में खुले हुए हैं नए नए इंटरप्रिटेशन के लिए, और अगर अच्छा प्ले है, अच्छी प्ले स्क्रिप्ट है, तो आपको उसमें हर लाइन की गहराई समझ में आएगी. नई नई गहराइयाँ, नए नए मीनिंग समझ में आएंगे. जैसे सर ने एग्जाम्पल दिया कि यूजुअली क्या होगा कि एक बेसिक सी अगर लाइन होगी, जैसे आई लव यू, उसका आप ऊपर के शब्द का ही मीनिंग समझ लेंगे पहली बार में और उसको निभाते रहेंगे. आप जितनी बार पढ़ेंगे आपको उसकी गहराई समझ में आएगी. शायद ये कैरेक्टर्स का मतलब इससे ये है, शायद इसका ये भी हो सकता है. तो वही है रिहर्सल का प्रोसेस. आप जितनी बार करिए, अंतर बस ये है कि अगर आपको गहराइयों के बारे में नॉलेज होगी तो आप खुले रहेंगे, ओपन माइंड से करेंगे कि कुछ नया मिल सकता है. अगर अकेले आप कर रहे हैं, अगर अपने इम्प्रूवमेंट के लिए, और आपके पास रिहर्सल का साधन नहीं है और लोग नहीं है, जगह नहीं है, तो रीडिंग से भी काफ़ी कुछ आप समझ सकते हैं. हर बार नई रीडिंग कीजिए और नए इंटरप्रिटेशन के लिए ओपन रहिए, वहाँ पे स्टक मत हो जाइए. तो यही एक तरीका है. इसके लिए अगेन ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको कोई टेक्निक नहीं मालूम है, आपने कोई कोर्स नहीं किया है तो ये आप नहीं समझ सकते हैं. एक्टिंग की बहुत बेसिक चीज़ें ऐसी हैं जो आप खुद अगर ओपन माइंड से करेंगे ना तो आप काफ़ी कुछ समझ सकते हैं खुद ही.